According to our next guest, one of the top secrets for happiness is reducing stress. Amy Blankson is an author and an expert in positive psychology. She shared the results from a survey called The Power of Space. Check this out.
Hi, my name is Amy Blankson, and I am the best-selling author of the book, The Future of Happiness. I'm an expert in positive psychology, and while I study happiness, my greatest passion is helping to connect people and resources together, which is why I was so excited to participate with Embassy Suites, Homewood Suites, and Home2 Suites by Hilton on a new research survey called The Power of Space, which proves the need and desire for Americans to have more space, whether that be mentally, emotionally, or physically, in order to boost their mood and mindset. The Power of Space survey revealed that 87% of Americans feel like they are better people when they get a little bit of alone time to themselves. 55 minutes is the optimal amount of time needed to recharge. And when individuals get this time, 53% of them feel like they're friendlier and 20% feel like they're smarter and funnier. This is amazing because we know how important space is to families as well, particularly for parents. When we've interviewed parents, 71% of parents felt like they needed space away from their young people, but didn't always have the opportunity to get it. Some of them did everything from feigning sickness, going on a faux errand, maybe taking an important work call. But when parents actually took this time for themselves, 69% of them felt renewed and not guilty. And they actually felt like space was good for their kids too. 59% of parents felt like it was more important for their children to have lots of space than it was to have a ton of toys. Now, when I'm traveling with my own children, when I'm looking for an accommodation option, there's a couple of things that I'm looking for. I'm looking for lots of space. I'm looking for separate rooms for my children and myself, and value-added amenities that makes travel a little bit less stressful. Some of those amenities might be everything from free Wi-Fi, free breakfast, evening receptions, workout facilities, and pools. But it's part of why I love the 3 Suites brands by Hilton is that there's literally an accommodation option for everyone. For instance, Embassy Suites offers 2-room suites with an evening reception, light bites, and drinks. Homewood Suites is great for business travelers like myself, and Home2 Suites is wonderful for budget-conscious travel. When we're traveling, 70% of travelers feel stressed if they can't keep up with their routine. So finding a space that meets form and function is crucial to decreasing stress during travel. Also, for employees who don't necessarily travel, having the versatility of a work environment can help reduce stress as well. 89% of Americans feel like they actually had a boost in productivity, their calmness, their happiness, and their overall creativity when they were able to move their workspace on a regular basis. So having these options is so important. And if you can't go anywhere necessarily, then try a staycation. Every hometown has some wonderful staycation options, and the 3 Suites brands by Hilton absolutely have some options that could work for anyone. For more information, check out Embassy Suites, Homewood Suites, and Home2 Suites by Hilton. And for more information on the Power of Space survey, check out hiltonbringit.com.
And a special thanks to Embassy Suites, Homewood Suites, and Home2 Suites by Hilton for sponsoring this segment.